Straight ahead at 6, all eyes on Denison and Sherman tonight as teams gear up for the sold-out Battle of the Axe. Prices are rising sky high for one grocery staple, and details on a man arrested after leading law enforcement on a chase through Grayson County. KXII 12 News at 6 starts right now.
Now, from Texoma's most watched news, KXII 12 News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to KXII 12 News at 6. I'm Caroline Fletcher. Jeff has the evening off. The longest football rivalry in Texas will kick off in about an hour at Bearcat Stadium. KXII 12's David Reed is there now with a live look. David, how's it going?
Well, what a day it is here at KXII 12. We have got a great showdown for you tonight. It is the 127th edition of the Battle of the Axe. It is the Sherman Bearcats hosting the Denison Yellow Jackets, and it is a game that is going to be played right here at Bearcat Stadium, the final time this rivalry will meet at this venue. So it's an exciting night for everybody involved. Fans are literally lined up around the block waiting for them to open the doors here in Sherman. So it should be a great football game. Of course, we'll have a lot more for you on this game coming up later in sports. But first, let's send it outside the stadium where KXII 12's Taylor Brooks has more on tonight's contest.
Yes, I am outside of Bearcat Stadium right now, and it's a great day to watch some high school football. As you can see, a lot of people already lining up to head in the stadium to watch the rivalry game. Now, earlier today, I talked to fans, both young and old, about what this rivalry means to them. The long-awaited Battle of the Axe has arrived.
No matter who you are in the high school, BOTA brings everybody together, and it just makes everybody excited for one night and just really have that all-out school spirit.
Bearcats and Yellow Jackets rounded out their preparation for the big game by delivering canned goods collected this week.
We just got done going to all the elementary schools and the middle schools and other spots around the community in Sherman collecting cans and money.
Denison High School donated their share to Denison Helping Hands, and Sherman gave to Master Key Ministries. The game bringing together traditions to create lasting memories.
Last year at BOTA, like sitting in the stands and winning, I was like, oh, it was like the best feeling. Like I was so happy to finally like end their streak, and it was just like so much happiness, and like so I'm hoping I can feel that again.
But it's not just current high school students that are getting excited for the big game. Others of all ages are ready to support their alma mater. Residents at Homestead of Sherman are ready to see who takes home the axe.
I loved going to football games, so I got to go to all of the games. But the main one that I looked forward to going to was the Battle of the Axe.
Bringing alumni back to their high school days.
I always looked forward to the pep rallies, to egg it on, you know, for the Bearcats, get them roared up. And that brings back a lot of good memories.
So will it be the Bearcats or the Yellow Jackets taking it home? Depending on who you ask, it's a split decision. Well, tickets for tonight's game are sold out, but if you don't have one, no need to worry. Sherman ISD will be live streaming the entire game on their YouTube page, and we will also be back with Blitz later tonight. Back to you in the studio.
That's right, Taylor. Thank you so much. But what can people expect weather-wise for tonight, Steve?
That's right. It looks like rain out there.
Yeah.
Slate gray overcast sky. It looks like November. Let's take a look. So we're going into the evening with clouds and radar composite here, your sat-rad, as it were, showing a lot of cloud cover across Texoma, all the way down to North Texas, all the way down into southern Oklahoma as well. Now, we're not seeing any rain with this, though. Doppler 12 Live is scanning the skies and seeing nothing out there, and we expect to see really nothing but maybe just a little bit of mist, not enough to keep you from heading out this evening. I really don't think you even need an umbrella with this stuff because so far we've had no reports of any mist at all. And look at these temperatures. Natural air conditioning, 72, 73, Marietta 75, light winds from the northeast, just a few miles per hour. So your Friday night blitz forecast looks like this. Kicking it off at 73 degrees, ending it not much different at 71. A little patchy mist is possible. And as always, I hope your favorite team wins.
Turning to the crime beat now, we now know the name of the man who led law enforcement on a chase through Grayson County that ended in an arrest. Sherman police say 43-year-old Jared Butler was wanted for shooting into a home on Crescent Drive last Saturday. Several shell casings found outside confirmed The home was struck by gunfire. An investigation revealed Butler and the two people inside the home all knew each other. Sergeant Brendan Hughes with Sherman Police Department says warrants were drawn up for Butler's arrest and the search was on.
On Thursday, other agencies located Butler in the area of Sadler, Texas, and where a vehicle pursuit was initiated.
That pursuit ended when Butler crashed out on Dickey Road north of Sadler. He fled into a pasture but was taken into custody a short time later. In addition to 2 assault charges related to those shots fired, Butler is also facing new charges of evading deadly conduct and unlawful possession of a firearm and body armor by a felon. He's being held on $275,000 bond in the Grayson County Jail. A Sherman man arrested on 14 counts of child pornography was sentenced to 15 years. Grayson County Sheriff's deputies arrested Adam Carbonell last year for possession of more than 700 pictures or videos of child sexual abuse. The Sheriff's Office partnered with national agencies in the arrest after a cyber tip.
Unfortunately, this is a serious battle. The internet makes this a much more serious problem than it's been in the past. The judge sentenced him to 15 years, Texas Department of Criminal Justice, and he will be a lifetime registered sex offender.
Hill says when it comes to cases like this, it's important to go after both supply and demand. A man arrested last year for exposing himself at the Sherman Town Center was also sentenced this week. Rayson Ward was sentenced to 4 years after officials say he exposed himself to customers at the Target and Walmart in Sherman.
Even though the defendant did not have any felony priors, he was still sentenced to 4 years Texas Department of Criminal Justice, and he will be required to register as a sex offender.
He says the charges and punishment in this case were more severe because children were present when Ward exposed himself. Charges were dismissed today against the former Ringling coach and principal Philip Coons. The 62-year-old was charged with outraging public decency 2 years ago after allegations of verbally and physically abusing student athletes. Court records state the charges were dismissed by the DA after a review of civil depositions. Beef prices are rising, and it could take a while for them to go down. KXII 12's Marisa Sisk tells us about the nationwide cattle shortage and how local ranchers are dealing with it.
Beef prices have been steadily rising, and so has consumer demand. A big component to this is a nationwide cattle shortage.
We've got fewer cattle through the system, which means fewer amounts of beef hitting the markets.
As of July, there were 28.7 million beef cows in the country, the lowest in over 70 years.
Cattle inventories are at the lowest point they've been in most of our lifetimes.
But this isn't the only reason why. Drought issues also play a role.
It's difficult to grow a cow herd until you have more favorable conditions. When we have favorable conditions, we have more grass production, and then we can begin to grow our cattle numbers.
And with the prices going up, it's leaving producers with a tough decision.
Do they keep more females back into the herd, or do they sell? Tough dilemma when you have prices are what they are.
The Noble Research Institute says a lot of producers are only keeping enough to maintain their own cattle numbers instead of trying to build supply for others to purchase, making demand go up as well as prices in grocery stores, up 12% from this time last year.
Ground beef specifically, which is I think what most customers are accustomed to buying on a regular basis.
Ag economist Scott Clausen says it could be a while until we see cattle inventory and prices go back to normal.
Only real solution in terms of that cycle goes is for us to build our production, and that's retain heifers and expand on the production side of things, which is a very slow process.
In Ardmore, Marisa Sisk, KXII 12.
Still ahead tonight at 6. Kickoff is almost here. Experts at One Big Game will tell us who they're keeping an eye on. And gray skies this evening. Steve is tracking some weekend rain chances. A bit later, you're watching KXII 12 News at 6.
Sherman, Denison, Texoma, Ada. From the KXII 12 First Alert Weather Center, here's Chief Meteorologist Steve LaNore.
Well, it looks like rain, but we're seeing nothing out there. Max radar here on a 1-hour loop, trying to pick out anything at all that might cause problems this evening and just not seeing any precipitation at all. Really don't expect much more than maybe a patch of mist. That would not amount to much. I don't think you need an umbrella if you're headed out this evening. Your weather headlines do include, though, a chance of some patchy mist, especially later on tonight as things cool off a little bit. We could get some condensation, so more towards morning could be some of that around. And there's going to be some widely scattered storms on Saturday, so beware of lightning on that. The best chance of rain tomorrow will be in the morning up to around lunchtime. You can take a look at this really November-y kind of a sky here. TMC Time Lapse sponsored by Crazy AC Guy, and making for some wonderful weather for heading out this evening, get a bite to eat, go to a football game, things like that. We don't get these kinds of temperatures in late August very often at 6 p.m. Fishing game forecast for your Saturday, sponsored by Blackbeard Marine. Hey, good luck and please be safe. You're headed out tomorrow. Things looking pretty good after a chance of a shower in the morning. The afternoon looks pretty quiet. Now, temperature-wise, we're all kind of in the same boat, 72, 73, 75, and that about covers it for Texoma today. Now, long-range forecast, there's an upper-level high to our west. There's a low-pressure area to our east, and that helped to push the cold front in here a couple of days ago, and the pattern looks to amplify later on in the weekend and early next week. That means the high pressure will push to the north, low pressure will push to the south and make for a flow that really favors another cold front or two coming through next week. So that should keep things quite mild in the temperature department. Now let's talk about the chance of storms in the morning. Picking it up here at 7 a.m. on your Saturday, a little waves coming through in the morning could generate some showers or thunderstorms heavier to the south of us into the Metroplex. So we're just kind of on the northern edge of that. And I think by afternoon, our rain chances have dropped to less than 20%. Kind of repeat performance on Sunday, though. Could be some fairly heavy storms. Now, this Sunday rain chance is our highest rain chance of the weekend with some locally heavy rain. So if you're going camping Saturday night, heads up. That's not the best time to be doing that, but it looks like things will settle down by Sunday afternoon as well. Rainfall amounts, again, the heaviest rain will be generally to the south of us toward the Metroplex. For tonight then, can't rule out some patchy mist, about 69 degrees, a moist one for sure. And your 7-day forecast, we will have a first alert weather day for Sunday. What is that? That calls your attention to the fact you might have some tricky storms out there. Not really severe, but we could get some drenchers out there, Caroline, on Sunday.
All right, well, we will be on the lookout. I'll be at home, probably enjoying a movie or something.
Brady will be here.
Yes, that's right. Still ahead at 6, we'll hear from some of the players in tonight's Battle of the Axe.
KXII 12 Sports with David Reed.
Well, we have arrived on game day. It is the 127th playing of the Battle of the Axe. And here on KXII 12, we are excited about what's going to happen here at Bearcat Stadium. Last time they're going to play it here at Bearcat Stadium. So we'll see what happens. And joining me now is a fine group of gentlemen that are ready to talk up this game. We got Lance Sandmillan, who's on the Denison radio broadcast team, Jay Lindley, who's with the Sherman broadcast team, and of course our own Stone Weber, KXII 12 Zone. So thank you guys for joining me first of all. And Lance, let me start with you. Yeah. Obviously things didn't go Denison's way last year after 11 years of it going their way. Right. How has that affected things on campus?
Well, obviously the quickest thing it did is got the summer program fired up in a hurry. I know Coach Whitson made it a point to get started a little harder in the spring, made things a little tougher, and I know that for a fact just from what he said during the coach's interview this past week. And the emphasis was for this game. Bring it back. Bring it back. That's what it's all about.
And Jay, let me flip that question on you. Obviously 11 years was a long drought for Sherman, but things all changed, and how fast they can change in this game. What's it done to the campus in Sherman?
Well, first, let me say this. Sam Millen coming on saved a lot of TVs, replacing Lynn's mug on there. Got to get that in. Sherman, I think, it was a step in the right direction. But as Alleman said this week in interviews with myself and Jason De La Rosa, that was step one. The next step is the postseason. I think they liked the outcome of last season's game. I don't think they liked the results of what came after that. And so for them, yes, important game. You want to win tonight, but this is step one in a 10-step season.
Yeah, and Lance, I want to ask you, this is a totally different team for Denison than last year. A lot of new faces. What are we looking for from the Denison Yellow Jackets? How are they going to play tonight?
Well, it's the step-up game. The guys that are coming in are replacing some good players and veteran players, And in that game, it's step up and see what you can get done. And they're going to be looking for that immediately. If it doesn't happen, just look to the sidelines and see who's next. Because the young guys are going to have to make a quick adjustment. It's a much quicker game than what they're used to.
And Jay, things have changed at Sherman quite a bit too. New quarterback, a lot of new skill kids on that side.
New quarterbacks, perhaps.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, you look at their offense, a little over 9% returns from last year, and that's Caden Golston. None of the receivers have a varsity catch on their stat sheet. Defensively speaking, only 4 guys with double-digit tackles from a year ago. So while Denison is new, the same can be said for Sherman. I think the big difference may be the fact the guys at Sherman are trotting out there got a lot of snaps last year at JV. That's something that Coach Allman has really harped about, developing players, and we'll see how it pays off tonight.
All right, Stone, you've been covering these guys all week. What have the players had to say?
I mean, yeah, guys, like you said, huge game for the community, a huge game for these fans and the coaches, but it's an even bigger game for these players. Like we said, they're gearing up for the 127th Battle of the Axe. Here's what they had to say going into this week.
It's nervous, but you know you get to play out there in front of everyone and show what you can do, and also like help your teammates out. Like it's a really great feeling.
I'm feeling pretty excited. I know we're gonna win. I'm sure about that. I'm not trying to be confident and not trying to go over my limits, but I'm pretty confident on me and my teammates.
Winning this game, it'll prove to us and the fans how good we can actually be when we're actually prepared and tough.
Start of the season, it's electric, but getting to play your rival first week, last year in Bearcat, that's something that's going to be really, really special.
Well, we are not quite done here on KXII 12. Coming up, more coverage from this historic rivalry. It's the Battle of the Axe. Hey, the Axe, it's up for grabs. Stay with us.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford crew.
No memento.
We're going to be on air for just a minute.
Welcome back to KXII 12 News at 6. I tell you what, this is a big, huge rivalry game with the Battle of the Axe, but it's not the only game on opening night. We sent it to KXII 12's Drew Maurer up in Durant.
That's right, David. Another big rivalry across the Red River. We got the Durant Lions taking on the Ada Cougars, and right here beside me is head coach Todd Vargas of the Durant Lions. First of all, Coach, on social media, it sounds like burn the boats is the motto. So talk to me about what that means and what that means around the locker room for your guys.
Yeah, that's just kind of our motto this year, meaning there's no plan B. We're going straight ahead. We know this has an opportunity to be a great year for us, and no excuses. We just want to press ahead. And no plan B. We want to establish those goals.
That's right, Coach. And the Ada Cougars are always one that I'm sure you guys circle on the calendar. So talk to me about this matchup and how much this means to you guys coming out here to play Ada.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great rivalry. They're a really good team. They're well coached. It's a great challenge. I think they're top 3 or 4 in 4A, so it's going to be a good challenge for us.
All right, exciting game here tonight in Oklahoma. But back to you guys at Boda, David.
Mascot over there.
All right, that's going to be a great game. Welcome back to the Battle of the Axe. Let's do some predictions real quick, shall we? Lance, great game ahead of us tonight, I'm assuming. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, first off, there's just too many unknown factors about both teams. I give a nod to, I'd say, Sherman's defense, but I give the nod to Denison's offense. Denison's defense, very unproven, and I think the same thing with Sherman's offense. So I'm going to go 21-21. Can I do that?
No, you can't.
27-21 Jackets.
The first time they played here in 41, it was a 7-7 tie. That's not possible. So
What's your call, Jay?
What I will say, though, Sherman closed out Old Munson with a shutout win over Denison. I say 24-0 Sherman over Denison.
Wow, okay.
Hot sports opinion.
Stone, do you want to break this tie, or where do you stand?
I agree. I think there's a lot of unknowns in this game, but I'm going to go a lot closer than last year, but I think it's too close to call for, and we'll have to find out later tonight.
Oh, wow.
Well, I'll tell you the one thing that I can guarantee. We'll have the highlights tonight for you on the Friday Night Blitz. Till then, we'll see you on KXII 12.
Welcome back to KXII 12 News at 6. Now we're picking it up here Saturday morning. A lot of clouds, and I think there will be some showers and storms popping through in the morning. A lot of that will be to the south of us, but definitely can't rule out something in the morning. Going for a 40% chance of a morning shower or storm tomorrow, but we're down to 20% in the afternoon for your Saturday. Now a higher chance of rain rolling through. Could be some noisy thunderstorms and heavy rain on Sunday. The overall 7-day forecast shows our highest rain chance is definitely going to be on Sunday. That's a first alert weather day for the potential of some lightning and heavy rain. But next week, things are going to stay nice.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much for joining us here on KXII 12 News at 6. But don't go anywhere. Stick around. We will have so much more football coverage, local sports, local weather, local news. It's all here at 10. We'll see you then.